PrizePicks is having a huge promotion. Every single day of the playoffs, one PrizePicks user will have a chance at becoming a millionaire. If this interests you, sign up using code NBAGoober for a 100% deposit match up to $100. Link is in the description. Sup, dude? Last week, I was scrolling on Instagram and I saw a bunch of posts saying Carmelo Anthony retired. After seeing all these posts, I came to the realization that Carmelo Anthony is retiring and I should make a video on him. So I started watching Melo highlights to get some inspiration, and after I saw him drain about one beautiful smothered fadeaway midi, a memory popped into my head. I have a lot of memories, but there's one that's been ingrained in my brain like no other. The day was January 29th, 2017. My neon green triangle jersey Hawks were matched up against Carmelo Anthony and the Knicks. Little 14-year-old me had no idea he was about to witness one of the greatest regular season games in NBA history. The game started and immediately Melo was busting off rounds. He played the whole first quarter shooting 7 for 11, scoring 17 points. He was draining tough midi after tough midi. I was in awe. By halftime, he had 23 points and the Knicks were up 65-61. Quarters 3 and 4 were more of the same. Melo got buckets, but so did the Hawks. With 9 seconds left in the fourth, Atlanta's up 104-102. Melo has the ball, he goes meet to meet with Millsap, and boom, gets his 34th point and sends the game into overtime. In OT, Melo continued to put on a show from the mid-range, draining a tough post fade, then sending the game into a second overtime with this smothered midi. At this point, I thought Carmelo Anthony was a god. Nobody could hold him. Dude was lethal from the mid-range. He fouled out with 45 points at the end of the second overtime, and the Hawks ended up winning 142-139 in the fourth overtime. Of course, I was happy the Hawks won, but I was more focused on how amazing of a scorer Carmelo Anthony was. His mid-range shot was one of the most beautiful things I've ever laid my eyes on. The fact that he put up 45 points and the Knicks still lost is kind of funny, but also sad because it perfectly describes how his career went. He was always consistent at getting buckets, but most of the time his team was dog shit, so he lost a lot. Out of 13 seasons where Melo made the playoffs, there were only 2 times where he got past the first round. The first time was in 2009 when Melo played with the Nuggets. I wish Melo played with my Nuggets. This Nuggets team had a lot of talent. They had Melo, Chauncey Billups, J.R. Smith, Kenyon Martin, the dude with only one name, and the best of them all, Birdman. This team was Melo's best shot at a ring. They finished the season with 54 wins, earning the second seed behind Kobe's 65-win Lakers. The first and second round of the playoffs were a breeze for the Nuggets, beating the Hornets in 5, then Dirk's Mavericks in 5. Dirk played out of his mind, putting up 34 points a game, close to 12 rebounds, and 4 assists, but it just wasn't enough to stop Melo and the Nugs. In the Western Conference Finals, Denver was matched up against Kobe Bryant, Pau Gasol, and the Los Angeles Lakers. The series started out very competitive. LA took the first game behind a 40 bomb from Kobe. Melo and Chauncey then responded in game 2 by scoring a combined 61 points, tying the series at 1 apiece. This triggered another Kobe Bryant 40 bomb in game 3, giving LA the 2-1 lead. In game 4, Melo played horrible, shooting 3 for 16, scoring only 15 points, but it didn't matter because Kobe was also out there laying bricks, and Denver utilized the power of friendship to win the game. 7 different Nuggets scored in double digits and they won by 19. This was the biggest win of the series so far. It was after this win where everything went downhill for the Nugs. Melo was out there shooting with his eyes closed and nobody else stepped up. The Lakers took games 5 and 6, defeating Denver and moving on to the finals to play Dwight Howard and the Orlando Magic. Melo averaged 27 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists in the Western Conference Finals, but he was pretty inefficient, shooting just 40% from the field and 25% from 3. After getting bounced, it would take a trade to New York and 4 more years for Melo to make it back out of the first round. The year was 2013 and he was playing the best basketball of his career. Melo was the #1 scorer in the league, averaging 28.7 points per game with a true shooting percentage of 56%. In addition to that, he led the Knicks to 54 wins and was 3rd in MVP voting. The Knicks were matched up with the 7th seed Celtics in the first round and Melo came out the gate swinging, scoring 36 in game 1, 34 in game 2, and 26 in game 3, taking a commanding 3-0 series lead. The next 2 games Boston won, but the hole they were in was way too deep. The Knicks ended up winning in 6. In the semis, New York faced off against the 3rd seeded Pacers, who were extremely talented defensively. Their defense proved to be way too much for Melo as he was horribly inefficient for a majority of the series. The Knicks ended up losing in 6 and the Pacers went on to force 7 games in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Heatles. Inefficiency during the playoffs was a big problem for Melo and it played a massive role in why he never made it to the finals. During the regular season for his entire career, he shot 45% from the field and 35% from 3. 3, but come playoff time, Melo's percentages dropped to 41% from the field and 32% from 3. I don't mean to diss him, I'm just trying to point out the facts. If your team's star player is a scorer and he consistently chucks up bricks in big games, there's very little chance of success. But like I said earlier, it's not all his fault. For most of his career, he was surrounded by bums. I personally think Melo could have won a ring if at some point in his prime he had a team where he was the second option and wasn't forced to put the team on his back every night. Like if the Pistons drafted him instead of Darko, he would have won a lot more, but whatever, shit happens. Melo is one of the best scorers in NBA history and will most definitely be inducted in the Hall of Fame. I could watch that man drain tough middies all day. Here's a video I made on Reggie Miller. If you want to watch it, go ahead and click it. Thanks for watching this one. Hope you enjoyed. Bye, dude.